Hi there guys, and welcome to another video on the channel. Today we are finally going to light the forge for the first time, and then if everything goes well we are even going to start foraging something today. But before I light the forge, I am going to give you a tour of my setup and show you exactly how everything works. So here we have the Bellows. This system is a double bellow system. The reason why this is double bellows is because with double bellows you can have a continuous airflow instead of just the little intervals of air that you get with a normal bellow. And basically how it works is that the lower bellow has got a valve in which the air comes through, and then the lower bellow pushes the air into the upper bellow through another valve which is in between the two bellows, and then the upper bellow just pushes the air into the forge. And the way you get a continuous airflow is by always pumping more air into the upper bellow than the amount of air that goes out of the upper bellow. So it's always more air in than out. So yeah, here we are underneath the lower bellow, and this is the valve in which the air comes through. It's just a piece of wood that goes up and down like this. And on the piece of wood I have nailed a little bit of rubber sheet just to make it a little bit more airtight. So I am now going to operate the bellow for a bit so that you can see how it works when it's in action. So as you can see, there is a rubber band here which is actually holding or preventing the plate of the upper bellow to go down completely. And also when the upper bellow goes up and down, this rubber band slows the movement down. And the reason I put this up is because there was too much air escaping out of the upper bellow, and there was basically more air escaping out of the bellow than the amount of air that was coming in the bellow. And that of course meant that it didn't work properly and I didn't get a continuous airflow. So one tip that I can give you is that if you make a bellow like this, try and make sure to make the upper bellow possibly ever so slightly smaller than the lower bellow. This way you'll know that there is less air escaping than air coming in. And also don't make the pipes where the air comes out, don't make those pipes too big, because otherwise too much air is going to come out. Here are the pipes where the air is come out. And these are two pipes that are 30 millimeters in diameter, and that's possibly slightly too much for the size of this bellow. So that's why I had to slow down basically the bellow with those elastic bands. But you know, those are just adjustments that you have to make, and it's unlikely that it's gonna work first time around without any adjustments or anything. Now let's have a look at the forge, and you can see how much the clay has crackled here on top. That's actually not a problem at all. But yeah, let's look at the inside of the forge now. So here in the inside we have the two clay pipes. They have a little bit of an S shape. This is just to make it work better for my particular setup. But you can also just use straight clay pipes. It's most likely you're gonna have to make those clay pipes yourself, because it's quite hard to find those. Then what I have is I have just a little triangle of clay which goes in between the two pipes, and this way it just stops some you know, charcoal falling down there and just getting wasted. And then I've got this fence here, which is just it's not permanent in here. I can move it around. I can take it out to clean the whole forge. And this clay fence just prevents any charcoal from falling out and wandering around and everything. I've got the air coming out from both sides of the fire, so if I put a piece of metal, I've got air coming from both sides, so I get an even heat. And finally, let's have a look at the basic tools that I'm using. I've got two different hammers. They're just normal hardware store hammers. They're not actually specifically for blacksmithing, but for the moment they work out just fine for me. Then I've got the tongs. Those were actually a pair of long-handled wire cutting tongs, but I just forged out the wire cutting part so that I can use it as just normal blacksmithing tongs. They are a little bit short, so it gets a little bit hot sometimes, but again, for the moment they work. Then finally the anvil. It's quite a cheap anvil. It's made of cast iron, so it's not actually hardened steel like it should be, so it's quite a lot softer than a steel anvil. It's much more easily to mark, so it is not ideal. And also the stand on which I have got this anvil now is a bit too low down and a bit too small, but yeah, for the moment it works. I think we all agree that this is enough talking for now, and we are going to light this forge and we are going to see if everything works well, and then we can actually start forging something.